Hello everyone, this is Revin back for some reading. And this time, this is a first read, but this is part of the Peter Swanson. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or not. The Kind Worth Killing. I just did the review. It was a reread. If you want to know everything from the first, you have the link review. And if you want to hear about the second time, there is the link as well. But this time around, this is a first read. The Kind Worth Saving. I think the book got out in 2023. Don't quote me, I'm not exactly sure, but it's the time where I got it. If you want to know everything that is happening, so meaning that there might gonna be some spoilers, be aware. Keep watching. You can click the subscribe button. Remember, please, to do that and help me reach the 222 subscribers magical number to open a wonderful new level. So far, I am 13% into the reading. There's again the same pattern as the previous one from Peter Swanson. Each chapter is named from one of the characters. We are following once again the detective from Boston, Kimball. He is not anymore a cop. We don't know exactly how long has passed since the Kindworth killing. He's a private detective with not a lot of clients, but I guess he's doing his best. And the second chapter, we are following the client that he has, which her name is Joanne, and she's a previous student of his. Same old pattern of affair and cheating. She doesn't just want to confront the husband and for him to deny, so she wants Kimball to get evidence. But I would say that there is something weird about her. I detect some stuff that I need to share. The chapters where the now private detective Kimball, the last time that he saw her at the high school, and he shared that there has been a shooting in the class. One of the student, a guy, shot a specific other girl, and he killed himself afterwards. And it kind of implies that after that, he wasn't really a teacher, and he wasn't anyway super sure if he wanted to keep teaching. Although in Joanne, we are going back when she was at the end of high school, I think, or college. I forgot now. But she's spending 2 weeks in the summer at some in Maine, I think. I'm really bad at remembering that kind of stuff with her parents and sister. And it's mostly a place with old people. This is how it has been described, but with not much really activities. We are seeing what happened. And in that particular summer, in that particular place, she's meeting her future husband, Richard. He is there for a month, so 2 more weeks to spend, but with his uncle, aunt, and a cousin. But he seems so far, and the way that Joanne brings that element seems to be nice. A bit weird like her. And remember that we are in the series of the Kind Worth Killing, even if it's called the Kind Worth Saving. Following Joanne, and she had an encounter with the cousin, Dwayne, the cousin of Richard. I wouldn't say that he didn't try to rape her, but it was like kind of getting close to it at the beach. And it reminded kind of so much about Lily Kintner from the Kind Worth Killing, because she thinks that one thing is taking revenge and of killing him. It's funny to see, obviously, from those characters and this kind of series of book of Peter Swanson's, but everyone wants to kill anyone who would do them harm. It's the only way, apparently, to get back to someone. And when she's confronting that problem, that issue with the cousin to Richard, she realized that him as well, he doesn't like his cousin, and he's willing to help, or if he could die, he wouldn't mind helping her or even doing it himself. Another one ready to kill in 2 seconds. And they are starting to exchange about possibly how they could make that happen without being suspected that it would look like an accidental death by drowning. It looks like so far that Joanne is not a nice person. So maybe the one worth saving could be Richard. I don't know. This is something that crossed my mind. Maybe in the future she will end up with Dwayne, but I don't know, I feel like they really gonna both kill him, Dwayne. But something else that was interesting, remember that the student who shot one girl and himself, and the fact that the girl was her best friend from Joanne, while the chapter was explained and I was reading, and, again, into the whole thought of the kind worth, and that mentally, apparently, those characters are all they are beyond flawed. They are beyond flawed. So why not imagining that what happened is that Joanne made that kid, I think his name was James, for whatever reason, kill Madison, that actually Joanne had something happened between the two of them. Why not? Any psychopath has always the need of starting to practice on something or someone. And that could be a very good playground. And especially remember that it's always finding a way to kill someone, not to get rid of, to kill someone, but not to get caught, to get away with murder. And the classic one, it's always to make someone kill for you, so you are not involved. And while I was reading that chapter and all the explanation about the shooting and reading more about her, Joanne, with Richard, and they are so easily plotting of killing the cousin, I was like, you know what? I really see that coming, that she's the one behind the shooting, that she wanted to get rid of Madison, and that she manipulated one way or another that student James, now that she's coming to Kimball for whatever cheating reason. And it's not that she's even mad at the cheating. I don't remember how she phrased it, but I think it was something like, I don't care that he's cheating. She's more against the woman who is, part of the cheating part, not even the husband. So I don't know, there is something very weird and creepy about that. I think I'm gonna stop right now in the kitchen just because it's dark outside. So it's time to go back with my flashlight to my place, and I will see if I want to keep reading a bit more in the loft. Otherwise it's going to be for the next day. But I'm curious to see if it's just going to be him, or if at some point Lily Kintner will come into place. But there's no doubt in my mind that Joanne is coming to Kimball to use him, to manipulate him. So yeah, we'll see about that. The kind we're saving, obviously, digital format, so the cover will appear. I am 47% into the reading. You can see my face. I'm just excited to see the number growing up. Not that I can say that I am excited about the book so far, or by the story itself, the way that it's built. The second part, it's still Kimball, but now it's Richard. So once again, I'm repeating that there are some spoilers. It's inevitable. I'm going to try to do my best and not say everything, but the whole build-up of following Joanne that summer, meeting Richard at the hotel with her parents, plotting to kill of his cousin Dwayne. The excitement, the passion that the both are sharing. It's somehow it's frightening. I was questioning myself that I didn't have that kind of issue the first time that I read the kind worth killing with Ted, but especially Lily. And I was wondering if there is a part of me that because it was the first time discovering the story, but you know what? Even when I reread the book and I just made the video, I'm still rooting and I'm still rooting for Lily, even if she is anything but thinking like not killing everyone. But in this instance, I don't know if it's because Peter Swanson is kind of following the same path, but with different characters, that it's redundant from a storyline perspective. There's obviously still something very fishy with Joanne. When I said something fishy, the fact that she's coming to Kimball to find stuff on the cheating affair of her husband, but at the same time she keeps she keeps repeating that, but I don't care. If there is no photo, I don't care, there's no photo. But it's okay, I don't know. Oh, but it's okay. But you kind of smell like 3,000 miles away that there is something extremely fishy with this whole situation. And you see that he's just being used, especially once he has shared that experience of the shooting at school that he witnessed. By the end of the first part, once again, we'd end up with two corpses. I feel like you can kind of guess who had been killed, who died. My husband and the wife that she's cheating with. But different in a way that you have nothing against Richard or Pam, in the kind of killing Miranda, the wife, the cheating wife, and the contractor, but especially Miranda. She was really the big villain, and she was really mean. But in this story, every time that we were in the reality that we were following in the chapter Kimball, you couldn't see anything wrong with Richard, the husband, mostly because there was nothing given to us to see. It was just Kimball following him here and there and trying to see, is it with someone else? I'm not sure that he's really with someone else. And when he finally finds pretty much quickly the other woman, so Pam, the co-workers, it's right away she said that she is in a very difficult situation that she's not happy within and she wants to get out of the situation. So she is not a mean person. I am sorry, I don't know about you, but I cannot root for Joanne. I do not like that character, but I do not find any excitement from the beginning. And I said that, and I was excited to say that, yes, I am 42 or 47% into the books. It's because I wanted to go through and to finish the story. I am so far not enjoying it. I am not excited, not even close to the way that I was with the first book. Now that the couple has been dead, we're still following Kimball, but we are, like I said, following Richard. And this is a spoiler. We are, obviously, it's Peter Swanson, the author, is giving us an information that he didn't give before. It's still the same Richard that we are following from the time that Joanne was at the hotel, the summer. But it's not her husband, because it turns out that she married another guy from school. I don't remember, college, high school, whatever, it doesn't matter. The guy was called more Richie, but his full name is Richard. So that's the guy that, sorry, she married. Was he bad or whatever, deserving to be eliminated? Absolutely not. Definitely not. And you're going to see the similarity again. It's because now that we are seeing that, okay, Joanne is now every day going back to the Richard that she met that summer. We have the explanation that she came to him telling him that she is married and that she wants to kill the husband because he is filthy rich. So it's once again in the storyline of Peter Swanson, a same the same thing. There is at least half still of reading. And I hope that something will make it change, that I will get excited. She's asking his help to get rid of the husband, and that she's going to use the detective Kimball as a witness to see pretty much instantly the killing, and that obviously it's the husband who killed the mistress and he killed himself afterward. That specific Richard from the summer is going to help her to do that, no problem. So this is where we are. It's not exactly the same timeline of after the murder, but this is where we are. But now Kimball, that now he smells the fishy thing, and he guess who is he gonna see to have some third part opinion? He's going to Lily Kintner, because turns out that he got in touch with her when she was in the mental hospital, and she accepted to be in contact to talk to him, and they seem to be buddy. She told him that inside the well of the property, of the other next door property, she hid all of the different bodies. When I read that, I was like, what? You told him that? I don't know. I still expect something. It's just weird, but not in a good way weird. Something that I just read, and I need to say, I'm not an expert, but with the ballistic report, when you are shooting a gun, you have some powder left residue on your hands if you are the shooter. When I bring that element, it's because now with what has just been explained, obviously, so it's the other Richard who shot the couple, but he's shooting first, so with his hand and the gloves, using the gun of the husband, the woman Pam, and then he's making the husband placing his hand, so touching the gun, but pressing through him, so the powder goes on his hand. The prints on the gun, obviously, but it's his gun, and the powder residue. But when I said that I'm not an expert, it's because I'm guessing that every time that you shoot, you press, and there is a powder residue coming from one bullet. When they are going to examine the bodies, when they're going to be on the Richard, shouldn't they be able to see that he only have some residue for one shot? Like, you should have the amount of residue from shooting Pam, the first victim, on your hand, and then you should have for yourself the second bullet. But it's not even going to be the full residue amount because there was another hand. Even if you wore some gloves, everything didn't get into the husband's hands. So it's like, it's not that perfect to think that they will not be suspected. Unless, once again, Peter Swanson, the author, forget that kind of detail and doesn't include it. It's like it's not even it's not even an option. I don't know. Anyway, when I am back to finalize the review on the Kind Worth Saving, it's still a mouthful to say. I think I was able to read the whole book in kind of 3 days, which is a record, especially because, yeah. I think I said that Joanne managed to make her husband Richard and her mistress killed and thought that she got away. with murder again, thanks to the help of the other Richard, that is actually the one with whom they killed the cousin when they were in the summer 2000, I think it's. And so he's digging up a little bit. I forgot how or which angle he took, but he managed to find that other Richard. I would say in a debonair way, like he's meeting him and talking to him. He tried to make it very unthreatening. Like he has been hired by a third party to um, question about the cousin who died all of those years back, because it is a cold case, which is not. But he needs some information. So, I mean, he doesn't know who he's facing with, but he's assuming that this is someone that Richard, who might have killed 3 times, might be even involved in the shooting. And he's still going, talking to him like he doesn't even have his gun registered to protect him. He doesn't tell anyone or leave any notes or whatever. It feels like it's an amateur work to look for information. He is supposed to be a licensed professional private investigator. And he was a cop. So, I mean, it's like really the way that he is acting and is doing things doesn't make much sense. And then obviously, Richard, obviously, who make all of the killings, I find it suspicious. Oh, he must know everything, which is kind of, but it doesn't. And it certainly, Kimball cannot prove anything. And on a whim, that Richard decide that he's going to take matters into his own hands. And first, because he cannot reach Joanne, guess what? He's going to see him in his office, and he needs a bomb that he has made. His goal is to blow up Kimball in his office, which partially worked, but it kind of backfired because he was killed in the bombing as well. Kimball ended up in the hospital, just in he has been a bit badly injured, but it's really not in danger of any kind. Joanne, when she learned about that, the bombing, she doesn't know what happened with Richard. Why did he did that? She can only assume that it was because of Kimball's. She tried to go see him at the hospital, using the excuse that he just worked for her and maybe it's her fault. Absolutely. So she wants to have some news. But in the meantime, when Lily heard about the explosion, like anyone else from the news, she knows way more, obviously. So she takes some time off from her parents. She's doing some fishing. She goes through his notes, what he left behind. He left some stuff, but she find that it's that Richard, and that she knew obviously about Joanne, and she decided to take matters into her own hand, which is not a surprise because it's not gonna be her first time. She changed her appearance completely. She met up with Joanne. Lily offered her to get rid of Kimball like a bait, saying that she was a super close friend from Richard and he told her everything and she loved and she wants to be part of the game. So she wants to help Joanne, and Joanne believed her. She said, okay, so this is how you're going to do. You're going to create an hemorrhage, if I say that correctly. So a massive blood leak into the brain to die while you are in the hospital, and what's gonna happen. And while Lily offered to do that for her, for Joanne, and Joanne is waiting, Lily is actually planning to kill Joanne. Once again, of course. And this is exactly the same way that Joanne asked her to do to Kimball that she do to herself. So to Joanne. So Lily is creating in her sleep of Joanne while she gave her something. She put something into her drinks to put her into deep sleep. I don't know. I passed through the details. She goes through the eye and she do some stuff and she create the hemorrhage and massive blood leak and she died in his sleep. And after Kimball get out of the hospital, and a bit later, he's going to come visit Lily again. They're going to have a walk. And he's kind of asking her that, isn't it a bit like weird that's super healthy? Well, this is not what he said, but suddenly in her sleep, she's having a hemorrhage like out of nowhere. They were both agreeing that Joanne was worth not being saved. And it's okay when it has been openly established that Kimball is in love with Lily, but Lily doesn't love him back. And maybe sometimes it's better in life to experience a love that is not replicated and to split apart. But after, and it ends up like this. He goes his way and she stayed with her parents and that's it. It's the end of the story. So my thoughts on The Kind Worth Saving. Well, I'm surprised that I was able to read that fast to finish the book because there was nothing exciting throughout the whole story. Compared to the first one, nothing was compelling for me. I thought about, the rate and how much I'm going to give. And at first I said that, the classic 3 stars, but I was like, no, it's not that I want to be mean, but it's not worth a 3 star. The story is so similar to the first one. There is no originality. It's even worse for the logical of the killings and the how it's done, especially for killing Joanne. Apparently, it's perfectly fine for everyone. Case closed. I mean, it's just, and the fact that she told Kimball everything, well, not in detail, but he knows that there are a few bodies inside the well, and he even put some dirt above to cover more the well. He's so kind of covering up for her as well, but that's fine. It's okay. I don't mind actually. It's just so, for me, I would give a 2.5. First, because I do not see the point of the existence of this book. I don't know if it came from the author, if he had that idea previously before the success of the first one, or if it's again a thing from the published house. They want to use the success of the first one and to create for another one. And it's the same, that happens sometimes with movies. When you have a strong, a powerful, and especially a successful story that has been created to be a standalone, stay with that fracking standalone and enjoy and appreciate the success that it has created worldwide and create a different story. And who was worth saving? Lily is kind of you can say in reverse, she's worth saving she's expressing some remorse that she understands that it wasn't the right way of doing, but she still has the door like a bit open, like if something would, so I then will again. So anyway, I thought that using Lily or bringing Lily, you could have done so many other things way more interesting than what he has done, but nope, nothing really there. Again, the Joanne character and the Richard who made the kill were kind of the same as the Miranda and the Brad. So it was really like, it's pointless. There was nothing gripping in the story. It's sad. Unless you're a fan of Peter Swanson, unless you do not mind, and unless you want to check for yourself. Look, it happens sometimes. And that's all. I'm happy that I finally read the book and I can wrap up that duology. And if there is a third one, it's gonna be without me. Thank you for watching the video and for subscribing for more videos of reading, because there are more coming in your way. If you read something that can be out of an interest, something that is really gripping and exciting to read, please leave it in the comments. I'm always interested to find something else. And until next time, have some great readings.